News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The emergence of the Omicron COVID variant could signal a possible end to the COVID-19 pandemic, according to one expert. Jen Calimon with the rest of that story.
Health Chief Francisco Duque III is looking at the possibility of a local transmission of the Omicron variant. This comes amid an uptick in COVID-19 cases.
The fact that there are local cases, those local cases would have not happened kung wala pang transmission. So I would assume that the local transmission is already there.
Despite this, Octa research fellow Father Nick Austriaco said there's no need to panic. In fact, he says the spread of the Omicron variant could signal a possible end to the pandemic.
The Omicron infection actually gave them antibodies that protected them not only against Omicron, but against Delta, Gamma, Beta, Alpha.
Citing data from South Africa, Austriaco said Omicron patients in need of oxygen therapy and ventilation are lower than those infected with Delta. He expects the Omicron-driven surge to drop after a month.
We should expect a very rapid increase. This is a good sign because if it goes up very quickly and it finds all the food it can find, it will also rapidly decelerate.
With this, Austriaco said there's no need for a lockdown. Quarantine period for Omicron patients could also be shortened.
The lockdowns are there to protect our hospitals. If our hospitals do not need to be protected, then there should not be this knee-jerk reaction to go into lockdown.
But for infectious disease expert Dr. Ron Jean Solante, we should still not let our guards down.
So the surge is really serious now, and we need to take this into consideration. A lot of cases are going into hospitals, although they are mild.
Solante added that the use of antigen self-test kits may help in preventing further transmission of the virus. The DOH is still studying the matter.
The advantage there is that if you're symptomatic and you get the test and you're positive, you can isolate yourself, you can do contact tracing.
Meanwhile, another COVID-19 variant called IHU has been discovered in France. But experts say there's not enough data, suggesting that this could compete with the Delta and Omicron variants. Reporting for News 5, Jen Calimon, we are One News.
The Health Department reports some 10,700 new COVID-19 cases on Wednesday. This number is at par with the earlier projection made by the Octa Research Group that cases could hit 5 digits. 39,900 of the 2.87 million total caseload are still active. 58 people have died of the virus overnight, bringing the death toll to 51,600. 57 cases previously tagged as recoveries have been reclassified as deaths after validation. Meanwhile, total recoveries are now at 2.78 million after 600 new survivors in the last 24 hours. The positivity rate, though, is now at 31.7% out of the 44,600 total tests included in today's bulletin. 9 labs were not able to submit their data to the DOH. And more people are feeling under the weather this flu season, but some are choosing not to get tested for COVID-19 and are opting for self-medication. Jenny Dongon with that report.
Over the past 2 days, 14-year-old Alvin had coughs and cold. His own father, Alan, was not spared, but the family says they're afraid to go to the hospital and get a checkup, which is why they resorted to medicines commonly available in sari-sari stores.
Pinainom lang namin ng gamot, paracetamol, saka Newsep.
Hindi po dinala sa ospital?
Hindi.
Bakit, sir?
Nakakatakot pumunta ng ospital eh. Baka mahawa rin, baka may COVID din.
Alan believes that what they're experiencing is only caused by the cold weather. Lola Lodi, 64 years old, also has coughs as well as sore throat. But rather than getting herself tested to see if she has COVID-19, she opted to self-medicate.
Naglaga ako ng luya, tapos nag-steam, tapos nag-ano pa ako, nagtimpla ako ng mga dalandan juice.
Another neighbor of theirs, Rachel, also has cough. She expressed concern over the supposed shortage in medicine in some areas.
Kahapon wala na simot na. Dahil maraming inuubo dito.
She also refuses to go for a checkup, saying it's expensive. These families all live in this one area in Caloocan. COVID transmission is imminent in this place as houses are tightly packed against one another. This is why the barangay is now making rounds to remind people of the free testing offered by the Caloocan LGU. The DOH says those who experience even the slightest symptoms must be tested.
What is very definite about the COVID-19 is that you have a loss of taste and smell, and you don't see this often in flu-like symptoms.
An expert says there also appears to be an underreporting of cases.
So I think it's important that we have to document also those antigen positive kasi ang nangyayari ngayon, ang na-record lang natin are the RT-PCR positive.
But the government is still pushing the public to get tested via RT-PCR to confirm their condition. PGH spokesperson Dr. Jonas De Rosario, meanwhile, encourages COVID positive who are asymptomatic and with mild infection to undergo home quarantine.
Mga tumutulong pa, mga teleconsultation or telemedicine, pwede po sila makipag-connect sa mga doktor nila kasi po para ma-reserve naman yung mga kama talaga dun sa mga kailangang ma-ospital.
For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
Here's a quick look at today's other top stories. The Tourism Department has suspended the accreditation of Berjaya Hotel in Makati. Berjaya was also ordered to pay fines equivalent to twice the rate of its most expensive room. This comes on the back of the issue involving a certain Gwyneth Anchua who was able to skip mandatory quarantine to attend parties. And inflation slowed to 3.6% in December. That is down from the 4.1% print in November. NEDA says this is the lowest monthly inflation rate for the year 2021. And the Trade Department assures the public that there is enough supply of paracetamol amid higher demand. The agency is also expediting deliveries and coordinating with drugstores to limit purchase quantity. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.